For more than 30 years, the name Alvah H. Chapman Jr. was synonymous with leadership in Miami. He was among the most influential business leaders the greater Miami has ever known. A third-generation newspaperman, he came to Miami in 1960 to work for Night newspaper. He helped take the company public in 1969 and in '74 was the leading architect of a major merger.
As he got older and was more and more successful, he'd built a great company, Knight Ridder, which he brought together, Knight and Ridder, and then for, I think it was 17 years, he had 13% compounded earnings, an extraordinary record.
Chapman became chief executive officer in 1976 and chairman in 1982. He retired as chairman in '89, but continued to serve on the board until 2000. During his tenure, corporate revenue tripled, and the Miami Herald won 33 Pulitzer Prizes. Beyond his outstanding achievements in the newspaper industry, Alvah was a driving force to bring change and progress to Miami, as he pronounced it, at a critical juncture in the community's history. He headed many meaningful programs, including a committee to build the Miami Performing Arts Center and the local United Way. In 1992, he was appointed by President Bush to be the first chairman of the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. And later that year, after the devastation caused by Hurricane Andrew, the phone rang again, and it was President Bush asking Alvah to lead a disaster recovery initiative called We Will Rebuild. Alvah's passion for people led him to found the Community Partnership for the Homeless, designed to help Miami's homeless get off the streets and return to self-sufficiency.
At one point, he called up and asked Armando and me to co-chair a project, a big project for the Community Partnership for the Homeless. And I said, well, Alvah, I said, isn't it typical of you that you get some of the busiest people in town and you make them come over and do what you want to do? And he said, by now he had a very soft voice, and he said, oh, no. He said, I don't want you to do what I want to do. I want you to do what your own true interest is. And I've got to tell you, if you didn't know him, you have to understand, he absolutely meant it. The sincerity of it, the steel-willed nature of it, it really accounts for so much of that amazing man's success.
Alvah devoted himself to strengthening the business community. He chaired the Greater Miami Chamber in 1968, borrowing from his military training at the Citadel and heroism in the Army Air Corps in World War II.
He was a man flying bomber missions over Europe with a huge mortality rate, surviving, coming back home, and then expressing that kind of leadership that he did in his early 20s for the next 60 years.
He used that experience, training, and attitude to remodel the Chamber into an action-oriented organization, putting the Chamber's members to work in many committees to help get things done. That model still exists at the Chamber today. His main focus for Greater Miami was building a strong and progressive downtown. To help get that done, Alvah launched the New World Center Committee at the Chamber, focused on developing Miami's downtown core. Alvah was convinced that Miami could someday be one of the world's great cities, and in large part, due to his vision, commitment, and ability to motivate people, Greater Miami is now an international destination for culture, tourism, style, innovation, and business. And today, we recognize his unique and legendary leadership.
If there's someone in our community, present or past, that deserves the moniker of great man, great leader, it is Alvah Chapman.